Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? It's America's Credit and Finance Drill Sergeant, Rough Rev, otherwise known as King Bay. Coming to you live, not from the highway today, coming from my office. Just had a couple of things I wanted to drop on you. Some information, good information. There's a lot going on in our country right now, and I'm doing this video with a lot of mixed emotions right now because of the murder of Mr. Arbery and the murder of Mr. George Floyd in Minneapolis. There's a whole lot going on right now, and I think about the fact that I served in the United States Marine Corps and gave my dedication and my life towards keeping this country free, and this is how they repay us. And it's unfortunate that melanated men uh, are subjected to this. But one of the challenges that we have in existing in this environment is based on the fact that we don't have freedom. We really don't have freedom. Yeah, in the military, there's a thing they say freedom isn't free. Somebody usually pays a price for it. And some military men pay the ultimate price. They pay with their lives. So other people can be free. But free to do what? Free to maim, abuse, manipulate, kill at will based on a race or a color? It's not cool. Not cool at all. But in any case, like I said, I have mixed emotions. This video is not really about that. It's not even about that. I wanted to come to you to bring you some information on business coaching. One of the things I've done over the years, even from my days of counseling, hustlers and gangbangers in D.C. and little drug boys and car theft ring guys that ran car theft rings when I was working in the schools. I always tried to show them an alternative way to live. Um, you know, the Bible says that God always has a more excellent way. And sometimes I think we're so used to doing things a certain way that we just, by default, we just continue to do them in the only way that we know, not even considering that there may be a better way. For many of you guys, you're working jobs that you really don't like. For bosses, you're working for bosses that you can't stand. You're in scenarios where you're under pressure every day. You got high blood pressure, hypertension, because the environment that you work in is so emotionally charged and sometimes racially charged and sometimes sexually charged with different type of our beautiful women having to undergo sexual harassment. Sometimes these things can literally make you sick if you're under this type of pressure. Well, I'm going to talk to you about something that I've done over the years where pardon me, where I take people's ideas and their hobbies and I show them how to turn it into a small business. I did this recently with a gentleman, um, and I'm going to be having him on my YouTube program soon, on this channel soon, because you need to understand, like, he was a common guy dealing with common situations and common cares and concerns, and based on a few tweaks and a few changes in his direction and his perspective, and just doing some of the things that I instructed him to do, his whole life has changed. Like financially, emotionally, he feels better about himself as a person now. And what I want to talk to you about is starting a small business. I said it before and I'll say it again. America became America not because of big business, not because of big government, not because of politicians. America grew the way it did and it flourished the way it did initially based on small business people who created jobs and opportunities for other people, who developed a certain type of dynamic, a synergy that was infused into their community. It made their community grow and come alive and expand. And these are the things that really make America great. This president that we have talks about making America great. The way he's going about it is the country is coming apart at the seams right now. With the corona situation, with our government being involved in all type of activities in other countries that we shouldn't be, with our major cities being torn apart racially from this racial hatred of police officers who were sworn an oath to protect and serve, not maim and kill. It's like our country is coming apart at the seams. And one of the few things that's going to bring it back together is small business people who can reach out to their community, provide jobs, provide food, provide training, provide a place for these young people to go, provide hope, provide a bright light in the midst of the darkness. This is what small business people have done since the beginning of time, and this is the only thing that's really going to make America great again. I don't know if it'll ever really be great, but it'll make America better. Great, I don't. Be honest, I don't see that happening. But if we're stuck in this matrix and we're here, we got to make the most of it. How do you do that? You get free. How do you get free? You can look at starting a small business, something small. Take something that's an idea in your mind, something that is a concept that you like to do, a hobby. And through my business coaching program, I can help you work with that idea and develop it into a business. Show you how to get your tax ID number. Show you how to get your LLC. Very simple process. And then put together a business, a pro forma, a business plan and financial statement to take you from point A to point B to point C. And then at that point, it's on you. I've done this before. I did it with a gentleman that I had on my YouTube channel before, Christian Oriana. Him and his buddy Manuel helped them start a business while they were in high school. I did it with another lady. I'm going to be doing a video in front of her barbershop over 10 years ago when I was helping her get a mortgage and fixing her credit. She was complaining to me about being frustrated working for this guy in Atlantic City who was just using her, wasn't really paying her. She was helping his barbershop make all this money and she wasn't seeing any of it. And I told you, I said, start your own damn barbershop. It's almost like I had a little crystal ball because I said, Main Street in Pleasantville is going to blow up with Latinos. I said, you have a Latino barbershop that services that market? And I showed her how to do it. I drove her to Trenton. I filled out the LLC paperwork. She was sick at the time. She could barely even read it. All she could do was sign. She signed off on it, paid for it. I got her LLC and her tax ID number the same day. The next day, I negotiated her lease on her first business space on Main Street in Pleasantville, New Jersey. And she hasn't looked back. She's been in business for over 10 years. The ironic thing is, me being the good guy, wanting to help a single mom, as I like to help single moms and single dads and they're struggling, she never paid me. She went and tried to get a mortgage through somebody else after I had fixed her credit. But I'm going to do a video right in front of her shop because it's right there to be seen. And if you ask her what the corporate paperwork says, she doesn't know because I filled it out. But in any case, I'm saying to you, this is what I do. I've done this before. I did it with young hustlers coming out of the streets of D.C., showing them how to take the money that they made illegal and put it into something illegally and put it into something positive. And started small businesses, laundromats and rim shops and whatever. But what happened as a result of that? That person felt better about themselves. They didn't have to break any laws. They didn't have to violate any statutes. Then they created jobs for other people. Their parents became proud of them. Their little kids had somebody to look up to. You know, they infused some vibrant energy into the neighborhood, maybe a neighborhood that nobody else wanted to come into. And boom. Then they stopped going to jail. They stopped getting in trouble. They started feeling better about themselves as men and women. This is what I do, and this is what I offer to anyone who's interested in starting small business. You ever had any inkling of an idea? It only takes one idea to make you $1 million. And you have 3 to 5, maybe seven good ideas every day. But most of the time, the noise of life pushes it out. And people ignore it. And they really need to pay attention to it. They'll be focused on the TV shows or what their girlfriend said, their boyfriend, their homeboy, whatever. And they'll miss out on the jewels of knowledge that maybe one idea that dropped into your mind, that the Spirit dropped into your mind, that could take your life to a whole new heights. All right? To make you free. Because I said it before. A man or woman is not free until they're financially free. And my father used to say it. Never graduated from the 6th grade, but he was a brilliant man. Brilliant, self-taught, gifted by God. He said, as long as a man controls the amount of money you make, he controls what kind of car you drive. He controls what kind of home you live in. He controls what kind of clothes you wear. He controls what type of food that you and your family eat. He controls what type of a vacation you'll take your family on. What size of a ring you'll buy your fiance. He controls so many aspects of your life when he controls your income. But if you start your own business and be your own man and your own woman, then you control that. And at that point, the only thing that can hold you back is you. So I say to you, you really want economic freedom? You know, I said it years ago when there were some men in this town that came to me and asked me to get involved in politics. And, oh, King, you a pleasant boy, and you should, you a Marine Corps vet, and you a college grad, and you could come out, you could run for council in 5 years, you could be mayor. I said, I think I'd have more ability to change things being a businessman with money and power. And business people with money and power are the ones that make things happen, not politicians. Politicians can be bought and sold every day. And even people who go in it sincerely, they get to a point where they realize it's all about the money. And at the end of the day, if melanated people had more financial clout and business clout, then we could make things happen. Now, I want to talk about that for a minute because years and years and years and years ago in the 60s, when Martin Luther King and his crew put on the Montgomery bus boycott, they shut the whole city down. The government came to a stop. The city's finances were on the ropes just when the melanated people stopped riding the buses. And by the way, this $1 billion a day that we spend as a people, we need to start withholding it from these people who oppress us. And we need to start spending those dollars with other people that look like us, that support us, that provide jobs for us and our families, that love us. And stop supporting the people that oppress us. I've never been on that black-white thing. My parents didn't raise me that way. But I've been stopped, harassed, illegally, harassed and semi-abused just based on the color of my skin and the fact that I was driving a nice car that they thought in their minds I wasn't supposed to be driving. One police officer pulled me over just because he wanted to see who was driving this beautiful 7 Series Beamer because he couldn't see behind the tent. And he says, I've always liked this model of Beamer. This is really... I said, are you serious right now? This cat stopped me to see who was in here? And they was telling me about the tent and this and that. He could write. I said, well, it went through inspection. I said, you got a problem with it? Talk to the inspection people. I got a sticker. All my stuff's in compliance, my insurance. Can I go? And he let me go. But at the end of the day, I've been stopped and harassed enough to know that the shit that goes on is not right. But how do we solve it? We solve it by getting economic power, financial power, and then we make things happen. Because then we're going to take our billion somewhere else. You don't want to treat us right? We'll take our business to another city. We'll go to another state. You want to act stupid? We'll just not spend our money with you. How about that? I see all these marches and these "We shall overcome." It's never really changed anything. You know, Malcolm X said, in every revolution, there has to be bloodshed. There has to be some blood, sweat, and tears. But we become too comfortable in these jobs we hate. We become too comfortable in these communities we don't really love. We become too comfortable. And my thing is, you need to be uncomfortable. I'm glad to see people in the streets protesting. I would say there's a better way to do it strategically, and that destroying another business's facility is not the answer, especially not in the minority community. That's really stupid. You know, a friend of mine from Philly called me today, and she said they were trying to burn down City Hall. I said, well, at least they have the anger pointed in the right direction. They're not tearing down their own stuff. I'm not supporting that, but I'm just saying. In any case, you want to begin to work on getting your life to a point where you feel like you're in control. Because right now, a lot of people feel like they have no control. Their jobs are on hold. Their finances are on hold. Their futures are on hold. You want to get your control back? Get free. How do you get free? You start making your own money your own way. You call your own shots. You set your own hours. No man controls how much money you make. You make whatever you want to make. You want to keep working into the night, then you keep doing that and you keep pumping money. Now, there's a lot of different opportunities now than there were when we were coming up. With the advent of the internet, you can do business online. There's a million different things you can do now. You don't have to work a job you hate. Why? That shit is insanity to me. But when you live in a box and you live in a little one-dimensional world and you think, oh, we can't afford it. Well, you know, I can't. I got to get my 401k. Look, there's another way. There is another way. And I say to you that you should consider starting a small business, a little LLC, a little corporation, you know, like do something, even if it's just on the side of your job. Because when you do that, you'll feel better about you. Then all of a sudden you got cash. I had a long conversation with a gentleman, the gentleman I did some business coaching with that got him going. He's rolling right now. After like a month, he's rolling, he's making money. I had a long drawn out conversation with him standing in a Walmart trying to convince him to buy a safe. And he was telling me, oh, I don't have to worry about that. No, I trust my family. Man, nobody would take anything. I said, dude, you're going to be making freaking money. You need to put that stuff in the safe until you get it to the bank. All your valuables, your credit cards, building his business lines of credit, put that shit under lock and key. He said he was counting money one day and he was organizing his credit card and he had some stacks. And somebody walked in his room. His little nephew walked in his room without knocking. And he kind of got on like, hey, man, what do you do? And he said, you know what, Mr. King, I'm glad I got that safe now. Because he was in this, we live in a happy neighborhood. We live in a safe neighborhood mindset. I know I can trust. I said, man, I understand something. Business ain't about trust. You got to help people to be honest. You got to help them to maintain their honesty. How do you do that? Lock every damn thing up. And you're in business, you're going to leave your business and leave the door unlocked and say, oh, nobody will come in. Not. Lock the damn door. In any case, now the gentleman's making money. He's got stacks in the safe. He put his weapons in there, his credit cards, you know, his high-level credit card, $20,000 card. You don't want that just floating around. But guess what? A month ago, he was crying and complaining, man, I need to find a job. I said, you don't need a job. You need to take the skills you have, be creative, do that shit from home, and get paid. And that's what he's doing. And now his job is getting ready to open back up. He's like, Mr. King, you know, he said, I don't even know if I want to go back to work, man. Going back to work would be an inconvenience now. It would hurt me financially. Can you see how this whole corona thing could be a blessing in disguise to you? you might want to consider it. This is a very short video. I'm not going to belabor the point. You know, look, superstarfinancial.net is my website. Phone number 215-554-7063. Right? Hit me up, superstarfinancial@gmail.com. Look, superstarfinancial@yahoo.com. Hey, I can show you how to take an idea and turn it into a money-making business. Now, granted, I do a lot of things. I run a flight academy during the summer. I got my credit program working where I'm helping people build business credit. That's another thing. If you have a small business and you're not using your business credit, you're crazy. You can get, in 2 weeks' time, you can get between $30,000 and $50,000 to help grow your business. And I can help you do that. The gentleman I'm talking about, I just got him $30,000. So think about it, contemplate it, but then really in this situation we have now, it ain't nothing else going on. You might as well do something that's going to benefit you right now. And this could benefit you and take your life to a whole nother level. Small business people are the people that are going to save this country. You could be one of this country's saviors. I'm going to be one. Here again, got the lady in business downtown Pleasantville. She's been there over 10 years. Because I told her, why are you running this other guy's barbershop when you can start your own? Go look for a barbershop in the Uniblock of Main Street in Pleasantville. You'll know which one I'm talking about. I'm not going to give her no free publicity because she owes me money. Anyway, think about it. It's America's Credit and Finance Drill Sergeant, the Rough Rev, otherwise known as King Bay. Hey, love you guys, but you know I'm that drill sergeant. I'm that money drill sergeant. I'm gonna get in your ass when you're not doing right, when you're not managing money properly, when you're pissing it away, or you're not using your intellectual capital. You got intellectual capital in your mind that you're not even utilizing because somebody said that'll work. You need to tell that broke cousin of yours to shut the hell up. Because if you listen to that broke cousin, you'll be broke just like him or her. Anyway, I talk too much. Love you guys. Wish you the best. Not on the road today. Not bouncing up and down in the low rider. Hopefully I have the 7 Series back on the road soon and very soon. But in any case, I just want to encourage you. Go for your dreams. Stop thinking small. Stop thinking small. Think big. Think big. I'm working on getting a couple airplanes for my flight academy, getting flight suits for the kids. My cousin in Atlanta, he's talking about opening a branch down there. Everything's kind of on hold here right now, but we're looking at getting funding to get hangars and airplanes. Why not? Nobody else is going to do it for our young people. We need to do it. What's that old saying? If it is to be, it's up to me. When you looking around, you say, yeah, this is wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong. One of my old pastors says, when you see a lot of stuff wrong and you get angry about it, you may be the one that's supposed to change it. So my question is, what are you going to do? Because ready or not, life is coming. And I say this, you need to make a move on life before life makes a move on you. Because the move that life makes on you, you're not going to be ready for and you may not like it. But if you make a move on life first and you do a preemptive strike, you're going for what you want rather than just settling for what life is throwing at you or the crumbs that somebody leaves off, pushes off of their table. When you need some of that steak and potatoes that's on the table. Anyway, grace and peace to you. One love to you. And I'll see you on the other side.